Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. We're in session with our announcement docket scheduled at 9 a.m. on the day of July 27th of 2022. Mr. Novel, please put your mic on mute.
Es no English, es español.
First case on the court's docket is cause number 327496. Case is style of State of Texas versus Christopher Lewis Dollins. We have Mr. Dollins who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Dollins, you can take your mic off of mute.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Dollins, how are you doing?
Very good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Dollins, you're here represented by your attorney, Dustin Galmore.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Galmore is also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. The state is represented in this case by attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, John.
That's good. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Dollins' case?
Your Honor, there's quite a bit of media in this case. We have not finished reviewing all of those DVDs, so we're asking for another announcement.
Okay. Give us a date. Yes. Okay. Now, Mr. Dollins, your case is going to be reset for announcement on October 19th of 2022.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute. Let me that's Dollins. Deadly conduct. Uh-oh. Okay.
Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Dollins,
Yes, sir.
I have some bond conditions to give to you. And I'll read these conditions to you. These conditions will be given to your attorney. And you can pick them up from your attorney. And it states standard bond conditions in County Court at Law number 2. Following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the law of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submits to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. And that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply in your case because it only applies to the DWI case, and your case is not a DWI case. Now, Mr. Dollins, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, warrant could be issued for arrest and you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Dollins, these bond conditions will be sent to your attorney, and you should be able to pick up a copy from your attorney. Your case has been reset to October 19th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Next case is cause number 330-810. The case is style of State of Texas versus Christopher Joel Gonzalez. We have Mr. Gonzalez appearing via Zoom. Mr. Gonzalez, is that your full name, Christopher Joel Gonzalez?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And Mr. Gonzalez, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Gonzalez, you also represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
Your Honor, we also need another announcement date on this case in order to watch the DVDs. Mr. Gonzalez was out of the country working for some period of time, and so we now need to go ahead and go through those DVDs.
Go, sir, reset that. Okay, this case will also be reset to October 19th of 2022. Mr. Gonzalez, your attorney will be, and your bonds will be sent notice of your reset date. Your reset date is October 19, 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. This will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
You're welcome. Thank you. And Mr. Galmore, I think this is your last case. Is that correct? You're on mute, Mr. Galmore.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. Yes, that's the only case. That's the last case I have.
Okay, you're free to go. Your reset will be sent to you, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, thank you. Bryson Tyler Adams. Mr. Bailey, could you please get Bryson Tyler Adams? Court is in session at cause number 329-526. Case is style the State of Texas versus Bryson Tyler Adams. Mr. Adams, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Adams?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Adams. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Matt Alford. Attorney Alford, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir, thanks.
That's good. Attorney Alford, what is your announcement in Mr. Adams' case?
Judge, we're seeking another announcement date on this case to further investigate the case as well. Also, to inform the court, Mr. Adams was arrested at Cleveland PD on Therefore, we'd like to get those together. I've spoken with the DA about that. Get those together and see what we can do to resolve that.
Okay.
No objection, Judge. I would suggest to the court that maybe we revisit his bond conditions in light of the new legal.
Okay, pull the other case, pull up his case, if you said it hadn't been filed.
It did not appear on the docket, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It's pending.
Well, okay, what is it?
640 pending lab report.
Okay. What, that's all the information you have on it? Was it-
WI, that is pending on the lab report.
It is, okay, so they didn't say anything about whether it was just a regular DWI center, 0.15 or more.
No, the one that we have now is the DWI.
Okay, okay.
And he was ordered to have an interlock.
Oh, he was, yeah,
Yes.
from the,
Magistrate.
okay, so that's already,
That has been taken care of. Judge.
okay. Mr. Coleman?
Yes,
He has already been ordered to have an interlock from the, I guess, when he was magistrated.
That's correct.
okay, Judge. If you feel the conditions are sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
I'll-
no other condition other than, I mean, he already has a,
You know, yes, sir.
that's, well, let me do this here. Does he have bond conditions? Do they have any, what I was gonna do is just gonna put it in writing.
Yes, sir. Right, your service.
I guess it was an order from when he was magistrated that, he had to get this. Okay, let me do this. It's Mr. Adams. 329-526. Trina,
Yes, sir.
could you give me a copy of this so we can give to Mr. Adams? Now, Mr. Adams, we're gonna give you some bond conditions. In this case, I'll read these conditions to you, then we'll give you a copy of the bond conditions. And it is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol or directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 3 states that the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. I think in this case, you don't have that because it's a DWI case. So this condition doesn't apply in this case. Now, however, this next condition does apply. It says a defendant who has been arrested or accused of any offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that make impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before the 10th day after arrest. Now, it's my understanding that you already have the interlock, is that correct?
You do not have, you don't have one to dispense.
Okay, so you're gonna have, hold on, let's see. So you're gonna be ordered to get that interlock within 10 days after today. Just need to make a change on this. Mr. Porter. Could you hand that to them? And then your attorney can provide proof to the court. If you need the fax number, you can fax it in, or you could,
Scan a copy and email.
yeah, email it. Yeah,
I'd be happy to do that, get that done.
okay. And your case has been reset. What's that reset date again?
Another announcement?
Yeah. Over to you.
Okay, so Mr. Adams, your case has been reset to October 19th of 2022. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and stay in contact with your attorney and your bond.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Alford, nice seeing you. And you can sign the pad over there. Once you finish signing the pad, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
You can sign, you won't be able to see that.
Your name is called out.
Okay, Jefferson County Court at Law is back in session. Next case is cause number 332220. Case of style of state of Texas versus, is that Placida Collins Cole? How you doing, Ms. Cole? You doing okay? That's good. Ms. Cole, you're here represented by your attorney, Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Lane, what is your announcement in Ms. Cole's case?
Your Honor, we've received all the discovery in the media. I have reviewed it all. Ms. Cole needs to review it, but also I would like to ask the district attorney's office for pretrial diversion, if that's an option. So we may have one more announcement day.
Okay.
No objection.
Okay, what we're gonna do, I think the pretrial diversion dates is every other month, so September is gonna be the next one. You probably won't have a chance, if she gets accepted, probably, that would probably be closed out
Okay.
in September, so November. Let's set it in the second week of November.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Give us a date. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to November 14th. Ms. Cole, your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Lane, once you sign for your reset, you'll be free to go as well. As you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And Ms. Cole, stay in contact with your attorney and your boss. All right? You can stand on the X. In that one, over there. That's. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next case is cause number 329024. Case is styled, State of Texas versus Kevin Eugene Hunter. Mr. Hunter, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, it is, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr.
I'm
Hunter?
doing very well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hunter, See here that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
I have not been able to hire an attorney yet. I've been trying to get my funds in order. I was able to arrange some money to be dispersed to me next month at a bonus, so I can hire an attorney. I was hopeful that I would be able to see you today and see if I can ask for another month to be able to do so.
Okay, so let's get up to date. Now, have you ever had an attorney?
Yes, sir, I did. Mr.
And-
Crenshaw was my attorney.
And he withdrew?
He withdrew.
Okay, I
Correct.
remember. Okay. We're gonna give him, let's give him a reset to hire an attorney.
Okay, Judge.
This is Kevin Hunter, first person on page 2. It's gonna be reset to October 19th.
More than enough time. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
okay. Now, Mr. Hunter, you're gonna sign for your reset. Once you sign for your reset, you'll be free to go and stay in contact. You're gonna get a copy of your reset and stay in contact with your boss. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You have a blessed day.
You too.
I'll send you to sign. You won't be able to see that.
Court is in session and calls number 328-870. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Lawrence Moles III. Mr. Moles, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moles, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Moles, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moles, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Moles?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Moles, your attorney of record is Attorney Terrence Allison. Mr. Allison is not here, however, standing in for Attorney Allison is Attorney Marius Allen. Does Mr. Allen have your permission to stand in for Mr. Allen's son?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Allen, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Moles, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about December 30th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Mose, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Mose, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Mose, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Mose, there are a set of initials LM that are on a line next to a box that says check guilty. You place your initials on this document. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And just for the record, Mr. Allen, before we go any further, do you waive a record in this case?
Here you are.
Okay. And Mr. Mose, I have before me another document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
We have a discovery certification. And Mr. Mose, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Mose, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Mose, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just read to you, or just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Mose, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, sir. State offer States 1.
Any objections, Mr.
No
Allen?
objection.
No objection, State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Allen, you've advised and counseled Mr. Mose. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Your Honor.
And Mr. Mose, your attorney, Mr. Maurice Allen, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Mose, Mr. Allison has also advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mose, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, the state's recommended confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 30 days. We're asking that the court give the defendant credit for the 30 days that he's already spent in custody, essentially making this a time-served plea agreement. As it relates to the court costs, we're asking that the court utilize that time served to both tax and retire the court costs.
Mr. Mose, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail, and therefore you'll be given credit for time served.
Yes.
The court cost in this case is $337, but you would not have to pay the $337 because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Mose, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Mose, I will follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Mose, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome.
Place your right thumb in the blue square.